It's the Pats and the Bears on Monday night. We're previewing the Patriots Week 7 matchup with the legendary Dancing Destroyer next to me. Settle in, because you're about to be locked in to the Locked On Patriots podcast.
You are Locked On Patriots, your daily New England Patriots podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hello to all of you Foxboro faithful, and thank you once again for making Locked On Patriots a daily part of your New England Patriots coverage and also your first listen every day. Remember, Locked On Patriots is free and available on all platforms, including YouTube, so smash that subscribe button, download, subscribe to follow Locked On Patriots wherever you get your podcasts. My name is Mike Debate. I cover your New England Patriots for Patriots Country, Sports Illustrated. Reach out to me and let me know what's on your mind at MDABATENFL. And while you're out there showing some love to that Twitterverse, please be sure to follow the Locked On Patriots account as well at LO_Patriots. Pats fans, it is game day, 8:15 p.m., Foxboro, Massachusetts, Gillette Stadium. Your New England Patriots host the Chicago Bears in Week 7. And here to preview all the action you're going to see tonight on the field is my good friend, the Count of Murphy Fisto himself. Legendary Thomas Murphy is going to jump in here in just a moment. But first, folks, please remember that today's episode of Locked On Patriots is presented by PrizePicks. PrizePicks is a daily fantasy made easy when you pick 2 to 5 players, and if they score more or less than their PrizePicks projection, you can win up to 10 times your money on your entry. First-time users can receive a 100% instant deposit match up to $100 when you use the promo code LOCKEDON. That's prizepicks.com, promo code LOCKEDON. And as I previously stated, folks, it's always special because it's not quite a victory Monday just yet. It's not a melancholy Monday just yet. It is hashtag Locked On Murph Monday because we are previewing tonight's game with the legendary Count of Murphy Fisto himself, columnist extraordinaire from E2GSports.com, my good friend Thomas Murphy. Don Murph, thank you so much for joining me today in friendship and for helping me out here on this preview episode.
Oh, man, my pleasure. My pleasure. Yesterday was a long Sunday. It was a long Sunday. I don't like waiting until Monday evening for my Patriots fix. I wait all off season, and I want stuff on Sunday, preferably at 1 p.m.
Yeah, one day. So that is the sweet spot for most fans, and I would agree with that. Definitely from a media perspective, it makes things a lot easier when the games are at 1 p.m. The 11:30 finish is always difficult for those post-game conferences and those post-game columns that come along with it. But bottom line, you know what, Murph? I'm not going to complain. I'm very, very fortunate to do what I do. And the Patriots are very fortunate to do what they do. They are 3-3 right now on the season. A win tonight would help them keep pace with the Miami Dolphins, who were victorious in Week 7, as well as the New York Jets. We're going to be talking a lot about those Jets this week. But keep on target right now, Murph. We are talking about the Bears. And we are actually talking about who is going to be starting under center. And even though it has not been officially confirmed yet, a lot of indications are really pointing in the direction of Mac Jones getting this start. We've been hearing this from last week, that he was 85 to 90% and that he was ready to start making, the opportunities available to him to get back on the field. We heard over the weekend that it looks like he's going to go, barring any unforeseen circumstances or any unforeseen setbacks. So, Murph, when you look at this game coming up and you look at Mac Jones, look at the Bears defense, what's going to happen here? Is this the right call for the New England Patriots?
Yeah, I think we made this call last week, didn't we?
We did. Yes, we did.
That Mac would be back this week, that he looked almost ready to go last Sunday. And no, yeah, it is the right decision to make. Why? Because this is Mac Jones's team, people. We predicted the return of the Mac last Monday. And
He did.
And that was used quite judiciously by certain people that are in this room for later shows during the week. I'd noticed that, and it was. But no, this is the right deal. This is the right direction to go. This is Mac Jones's team. This is not Bailey Zappe's team, folks. Get that through your skulls. It's Mac's job to lose, and he hasn't done anything to lose it. And the only reason that I can see going back to Bailey Zappe at any point in time during this year is a re-aggravation of this injury. And that's the only thing that I'm worried about right now, as to whether or not Mac has had enough time to let this stabilize, let this heal up, and not have to deal with this again for another 3 or 4 weeks.
I'm glad you mentioned re-aggravation, because that leads me nicely into a question I wanted to ask you. Autumns in New England can be unforgiving weather-wise at times. They can be very warm, very pleasant, or they can be very cold and damp. And it looks like we're about to get the latter tonight at Foxboro at Gillette Stadium. Possibly wet turf. Now, I know it's not the same as grass, but wet turf can be problematic for a quarterback, especially one that's coming back from a high ankle sprain. Cold weather, difficulties there. Still the right decision to go with Mac here, even though the weather may be working against him?
That's a great point. It really is. But if you're healthy enough to dress in New England, you're healthy enough to play. And I think that's been the MO here for a very long time. And I don't see any reason to deviate from that whatsoever. If he's healthy enough to dress, tape him up, get him out there, and let him play. If he's not, if you would wonder about him slipping on wet turf, you should be worried about him slipping on any turf and re-aggravating or any surface and re-aggravating this injury. No, if he's healthy enough to get him out there, get him out there.
See, folks, you see what just happened there? That's not a Magic Johnson, John Stockton type of assist that you just saw. That's the ball just slipped out of my hands. This man grabbed it and tomahawk dunked it on their best player. Great point, my friend. Absolutely great point. Because if you are healthy enough to be out there on the field, and if one slip is all it's going to take for you to regress, then you probably don't belong out there in the first place. But if the Patriots medical staff, and again, this has to be cleared by their medical staff in order to put him out there. If they're clearing him and they're confident that his abilities are not going to be hampered or in jeopardy, I shouldn't say hampered, but that they're not going to be in jeopardy, or that his health cannot be possibly made much worse by being out there, then yeah, that's why you're hearing some of the reports that you're hearing about barring any unforeseen setbacks.
Right.
So in that regard, yeah, I think the Patriots are making the right move when it comes to Mac Jones. That being said, Murph, you and I both know that there is going to be some ring rust on the young man that's going to be under center tonight. Hasn't played a regular season snap since suffering a high ankle sprain. Closing moments of the Pats' Week 3 loss to the Baltimore Ravens. So on the shelf for 3 straight weeks. He's been limited in practice. He's been out there, but we're talking practice. We're not talking a game here. And no, I'm not going to go any further than that, folks. But all kidding aside, when Mac is under center, trying to get his feet back, what should Patriots fans realistically expect out of Mac Jones tonight? Is he going to come out really, no worse for the wear, or do you expect to see a slow start? Because the first incompletion you see, or the first tough series that he has, the Boo Birds are going to be out in droves in Foxboro.
I don't think so. I'm going to disagree on this. This is a crowd that knows its football, that knows its knows the fact that to get back into the swing and start picking up the speed of this game, it's going to take more than a series or two. I know a lot of people out there have been talking about the Boo Birds and the chance of Bailey Zappe if Mac does not get out to a fast start. Sure, there's going to be the scattered group in there that have fallen in love with young Mr. Zappe to this point, but we said a week or two ago that Bill has the patience to drown out that noise, to not listen to that noise, to ignore that static. And I think Mac is of the same ilk. Yes, he's a kid that wears his heart on his sleeve, and has had to be calmed down in a couple of situations. But no, I really don't think that that those people are going to affect him in any way, shape, or form. Once he gets his feet under him, for lack of a better term, I'm expecting a nice night out of Bailey, out of Mac Jones, one that you could see 250 yards and 2 touchdowns, 55% completion rate. It's all going to come down to the protection that he gets up front. If he gets protection, if he gets the time that he needs to throw, and what system they're going to be going with here, then yeah, I'm expecting a regular performance that we've seen in the past out of Mac Jones. Mac Jones isn't a guy that's going to throw for 350 yards and 5 touchdowns, people, so don't expect it.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Very, very well said. And look, I agree with you. I think with Mac Jones in under center, you're going to see him either succeed or have difficulty based on the type of system, based on the type of blocking that he's getting. That's the type of quarterback that Mac Jones is. You need those elements around him in order for him to succeed. He's not going to strap the team on his back the way Brady used to do it with subpar blocking, subpar game planning. He could do that. Mac is not at that point yet. And that's not to say that he can't get to a level where he can start to approach doing that. But that's not who he is just yet. If the New England Patriots are going to succeed, whether it's Mac Jones or whether it's Bailey Zappe, they have to stick with the back-to-basics approach that they've been going back to. Better utilizing the pulling guards, the gap runs to really kickstart that running game. That's going to be a big key. I think the runners are going to have a big night tonight. And the improved blocking along the offensive line, that has to stay, because then Matt Patricia can get back into his comfort zone.
There you go.
Have the quarterback manage the short to intermediate areas of the field and generate the big play off of play action. And when we're talking big play with either Bailey or with Mac, we're not talking 50-yard bombs down the field here, folks. We're talking 15, 17-yard completions that go for extra yak. And we know that Murph's going to be wanting his yak tonight, folks.
Get me my yak.
Get me my yak. So speaking of get you your yak, Murph has outlined, as he always does, each and every week, folks, the keys to victory. And I am absolutely 100% impressed and astounded by what I've read on Murph's keys this week. You will be as well when we break those down here for you on Locked On Patriots when this preview episode continues in just a moment. But first, folks, this episode is brought to you by Prediction Strike, the world's first sports stock market. You can now invest in professional athletes just like stocks. It's a lower risk alternative to sports betting, and athlete prices move based on performance and based on supply and demand. The 2.5% trade fees are the lowest real money in sports, and you can invest in 4 sports, not just the NFL, but UFC, NBA, and Major League Baseball. Everybody knows you should be investing, but why not invest in what you actually know as a football fanatic? So download the Prediction Strike app and use the code LOCKED for a free share when you sign up and you make a first deposit of $20 or more. That's promo code LOCKED, LOCKED, for a special one-time giveaway. Prediction Strike will choose one person who signs up with Locked and make a deposit to win 100 free random shares. That could be worth up to $3,000 if you get lucky, and receive Josh Allen shares as well. Invest in what you know on Prediction Strike, the stock market for sports. Murph, we all know that time spent with people that really matter to you, those are the moments that really count. You want to commemorate life's special moments, as we always do each and every time we share the microphone, my friend. But when you're looking for a real special moment, I'm talking pop the question type of special moment, you have a milestone to celebrate or want to let your love sparkle, our friends at Blue Nile can help you make your celebrations even more memorable. As the original online jeweler, Blue Nile offers the largest selection of independently graded diamonds and pieces priced significantly below traditional retailers. If you're having trouble choosing, Blue Nile has jewelry experts on hand 24/7, available via phone or chat to help you find a memorable gift at every budget. Shop stress-free with Blue Nile's 100% satisfaction guarantee. All Blue Nile orders are insured and shipped for free in discreet packaging, and they also offer overnight shipping if you're in a rush. Make your moment sparkle with Blue Nile. Go to BlueNile.com and use promo code LOCKEDON to save $50 on your purchase of $500 or more. That's BlueNile.com, code LOCKEDON to save $50 on your purchase of $500 or more. BlueNile.com, code LOCKEDON. Patriots fans, we are getting you ready for Monday Night Football. The New England Patriots hosting the Chicago Bears at Gillette Stadium in Foxboro, Massachusetts. 8:15 kickoff. Going to be a little bit of a chilly one and a little bit of a wet one. So if you're heading to the ball game tonight, be sure to dress accordingly and be sure to be safe as well. Murph, each and every week, your monster keys are the must-read in Patriots lore. I don't say that to pump your tires. I don't say that because we're friends. Folks, I just say that simply because it's true. Murph's keys are usually spot on, and if you turn those keys, you go to the top. If you don't, you're never heard from again. So without further ado, my friend, I'm going to give you the platform. Let's start with the offensive side of the ball because we were talking about Mac Jones and what needs to happen. In your expert, professional opinion, which key needs to be turned tonight on the offensive side of the ball if the Patriots want to come out with a victory?
That's a good one because I don't really stack my keys in a matter of importance. They're all important keys to turn. If you get my meaning out there, people, I'm not trying to pat myself on the back too much, but more play action, more points. We all got to see the past 3 weeks and last season under Mac Jones that when the play action game is rolling, this team is rolling and they put points up on the board. Easily 7 to 10 more points could have been had over the last 2 weeks if it wasn't for a miscue here or a miscue there, a terrible penalty that, I hate stupid. I can't stand stupid. A terrible penalty at the right. Well, these you can, but it is. It's the play action game that's really going to move the change this week. That's if you put me in a corner and you said which key is going to have to turn for the team to be successful and come out on top, that's it. After that, it's to set that up, run it, Mr. Smith. Roquan Smith is the Bears' best defensive weapon right now. So stay away from those outside zone runs. He's just going to run you down, drag you down. It's going to be a lot of work for a 2-yard gain. Dance with the one that brung you and run off tackle, run behind those pulling guards and get up to the second level and let Ramondre do his thing. By the way, I'll be buying stock in Ramondre right after this show.
Absolutely. See how he ties that in, folks? We don't pay him extra to do this. He does it all on his own. It really is brilliant. It absolutely is. And, Murph, I completely understand exactly where you're coming from when it comes to trying to reinvent the wheel and this not being the game to do that. Yes, the Patriots are trying to incorporate outside zone run, but when you look at a guy as talented as Roquan Smith, the hole in his game is when you run at him. He can be pushed around a little bit, especially scouting this team a little bit this week. And admittedly, I didn't have a whole lot on the Bears. Really needed to go, back into some archives and pull on some good friends to cover the team. But at the same time, that's something that I've noticed. So if the Patriots do that, I think that there is a chance that this running game can have a big game tonight. We all know that offense is fun to talk about, but Murph, we have not talked about the defensive side of the ball yet. And what's most important to me is that I have a key, not a guarantee, a key, a defensive key. And you don't have to stack the keys or anything like that. And I don't mean to put you in a corner.
No, that's fine.
And I realize that kind of does a little bit. But when you look at the defensive must-haves for this team, if you're picking out a bullet point or two or just an element of this game that needs to happen for the Patriots to win, what is it on the defensive side of the ball?
You sell out to stop the run. David Montgomery, Herbert, and Fields are the three-headed monster that the Patriots are going to have to be most aware of tonight. You sell out to stop the run. You put it in Fields' hands, and I'll roll that way. I'll roll that way. Bill has forever taken away what you do best. And what this team does best, it may be the only thing this team can do from what I've seen so far this year, is run the ball. Fields making plays with his legs. And these two running backs are as fine a group that you'll find in the NFC right now. Stay in zone coverage. Keep your eyes in the back so these defenders can keep their eyes in the backfield. Stuff the run. That's the number one key for this defense this evening.
Yeah, absolutely. And very, very good point. And, I think that's exactly what the Patriots are doing. You already heard reports this morning that Jamie Collins is going to be elevated for this game and that he'll be in there. Kind of makes me wonder about Anthony Jennings. Jennings popped up on the injury report on Friday. We're not sure, Saturday. These Monday games really throw you off. It was the final practice, which usually is on a Friday, but it is on a Saturday. Hey, even Bill Belichick made that mistake, folks, so I consider myself in decent company there. But he was on the injury report, and you wonder whether or not that might be enough to keep him out of this game. If so, does Jamie come in and add some veteran savvy and also the ability to play in the middle part of that defense and try to help out and facilitate some of the pass rush and really be effective against the run? So I believe that you're absolutely 100% on the money, Murph. And again, folks, those keys. If you turn the keys, you go to the top. If you don't turn the keys, you're never heard from again. And that could be the case with the New England Patriots if they're not on the money and they don't listen to my good friend Murph here. Murph, we're almost at that time where I am going to put you on the hot seat, and I'm going to ask you how all this shakes out. You're going to look into your Murphian crystal ball and give us your predictions in just a moment, folks, when this episode of the Locked On Patriots podcast wraps up. But first, folks, please remember that today's episode is brought to you by PrizePicks, daily fantasy made easy. And let me talk to you a little bit about how PrizePicks works. You pick 2 to 5 players, and if they score more or less than their PrizePicks projection, you can win up to 10 times your money on any entry. There's no competing against other people. You're not competing with me or Murph or anyone else out there. It's just you versus the projections available. PrizePicks offers projections on any sport that you watch, including NFL, NBA, Major League Baseball, down to just the Houston Astros and the Philadelphia Phillies. Ding dong, the witch is dead, Murph. And that's all I'm going to say about that. PGA, college football, men's, women's, college basketball, soccer, and so much more. Entries can be made in 60 seconds or less. That's right, folks. It is that easy. Safe and fast withdrawals. And currently operational in over 30 states and in Canada. So download the PrizePicks app or go to prizepicks.com to sign up and play daily fantasy sports. First-time users can receive a 100% instant deposit match up to $100 with the promo code Locked On. That means if you deposit $100, PrizePicks will give you $100. If you deposit $50, PrizePicks will give you $50. Don't forget to enter the promo code Locked On. That's LOCKEDON at sign up for an instant deposit match up to $100. PrizePicks.com. Patriots fans, it is almost time for kickoff, and we are here with our good friend, the legendary Connor Murphy Fisto himself, Thomas Murphy of E2Gsports.com. And Murph, we've talked a lot about monster keys. We've talked a lot about quarterback decisions, but ultimately, that's why they play these games on the field, and they don't play the games based on predictions just like we have given for the past 20 minutes or so. But that's not going to stop us from doing our job. We're going to predict what we believe is going to happen. I've already tipped my hand because I gave my game prediction during Thursday's crossover episode with my good friend Lauren Cox over here on Locked On Bears, but you have yet to prognosticate. We have yet to see the green wisdom and counsel in that Murphian crystal ball that you have there in Connecticut. But how does this all shake out? Is this a game where the Patriots can move to 4-3, above 500, really, really get going against the Jets next week, or do I dare use the words trap game?
I don't want to use I don't want to call this a trap game. I really don't. This is a an opportunity for, as we said earlier, for Mac to get his feet under him before the Jets game coming up. Couldn't we all believe how important that Jets game is going to be next week? And they're going to need to come out with a win tonight. And I don't see how they can't. They would have to step all over themselves to screw this one up at home on Monday night against an opponent that really has no identity, with a quarterback that I warned them all not to take. I warned you all not to take him. and no, I'm predicting that the Patriots will win this game 24-12. They're going to get 24-12.
24-12. That's excellent. I mean, you look at it, we're all right about the same. All the predictions that have been given on these airwaves so far, whether it be Claire earlier in the week, whether it be Lauren and myself, we're almost identical. Mark Schofield on Friday, and now yourself are all about in that range. I had 24-14. I think Lauren had 24-13. I think I gave the Bears an extra point there. But Mark was very similar in his, and so was Claire. So we're all really kind of looking at the same type of game for the New England Patriots. And I agree with you. If they stick to the offensive blueprint, the defensive blueprint that they've laid the last couple of weeks, then I think they should be okay. But again, folks, that's why they play these games on the field, not on paper. So we'll see what happens tonight with the New England Patriots. Again, folks, 8:15 kickoff on ESPN, Monday Night Football. If you are heading up to the stadium, once again, please dress accordingly and please be responsible going to and from this game. The most important thing and the most important victory we can all hope for is that everybody who goes to the game makes it in and home safely. Murph, what can I say, my friend? Always honored, always humbled by your presence. Before I take my leave of you, Don Murph, with all respect, please let all of our listeners know what they can expect from you coming in the next few days on E2Gsports.com, both written and podcasting, and just anything else you'd like to plug at this time.
I've got a couple of articles coming up on for the World Series and the ALCS. Sorry, New York. Sorry.
Start spreading the
news. And they yeah, go ahead.
No,
it's better than anything I got to say right now.
I'm better than anything I got to say. I'm doing this right now because there are some up here.
We've got Antoine Staley is going to stop by One Patriots Place tomorrow. We're going to do a little preview. Antoine Staley of the New York Post is going to be in with us with Claire, Steve, and of course myself. You can check that out tomorrow at 10 a.m. on E2G Sports. I've got a nice little write up on the Yankees in spreading it out. Do you know that the Yankees have set a new Major League Baseball record, and it's not a home run record. It's the fact that they've lost 5 ALCSs in a row. The last 5 ALCSs that they've been in, they've lost, and that's a record, ladies and gentlemen. You're welcome. You heard it here first. But other than that, just I'll have the monster keys out for next week. Next Sunday, short week, but it won't be a short week for me. I'll have them out there on Friday for you against the Jets. Just eat the frickin' snacks and go home. I can't stand this fan base. I really can't. I'm sorry. First time in almost 10 years that they've won 4 games in a row, and they've already got themselves winning the Super Bowl with this quarterback. Other than that, I'll be back here next Monday, and please follow me on Twitter at TMurph207 for any updates.
Folks, if you've enjoyed today's episode, if you think we're not going into Jets Week without a preview from Murph, you don't even need me around. I'm just going to put my feet up and just let the man go for 20 minutes, and I guarantee you'll be not only well informed, but you'll also be damn entertained too.
Trash. Zach Wilson is trash.
I'm not saying a word. We're going to definitely be back tomorrow, folks, to break down all of the action that you saw on the field on Monday night. But in the meantime, I thank my good friend, the Don himself here on Locked On Patriots, the Count of Murphy Fisto, the Dancing Destroyer, the Green King of Sting, the Monster Master of Disaster, all the nicknames he's earned, he definitely wears, and he wears them well. Folks, please, again, enjoy tonight's game. Thank you for taking time out of your day to make Locked On Patriots a daily part of your New England Patriots coverage, also your first listen every day. Now that you've made us your first listen, for your next listen, check out the Locked On Sports Today podcast, hosted by my good friend and colleague, Peter Bukowski. The biggest stories of the day, plus instant reactions, big game recaps, and the take of the day. Available on the Odyssey app, YouTube, and wherever you get your podcasts. On behalf of my good friend, the Count of Murphy, Fisto himself, Thomas Murphy, I'm Mike Debate. Please, folks, continue to stay safe, stay well, be the change you wish to see in the world. Have a great day, everyone, and enjoy the game tonight from Foxboro.
It may be delicious, but it ain't pizza.